Hey there, guys and gals. This is B.L. Blankenship, comic book writer extraordinaire, literary author, music dude, all that good stuff. And I am here with a very special guest slash co-host to talk about this. She has very little comic book knowledge, you might say, but I'll tell you what she does have knowledge about. Smart enough to marry me. This is my wife, Queen Victoria. Say hey, Victoria.
Hey, y'all.
Um, so anyway, a few days ago, I went ahead and watched the Red Sonja movie. Now, I had talked a little bit about it. I think I did on like the I Shook Comics podcast, and was going to talk more about it this week. Didn't really think I was going to go ahead and shoot a video and do a review and all that, but I had earlier today with the Toxic Avenger, which I saw today. Check it out on my channel. I may just go ahead and leave a link below. But as I was on YouTube, and you see these absolute pure garbage, just wrecks all credibility. They're so off. Videos like, I hate this. This is trash. I hate this. This is trash. I hate this. It's trash. And saying it several times, and I haven't even watched it, but I'll tell you, I know that even though I have no credibility to say jack crap about it, this is garbage. So coming in with an agenda and all that. Saw a video. I'm not going to mince words, not going to avoid names. John Delaraz, yeah, popular guy, stalks people, gets thrown out of conventions, all kinds of stuff. And we may think alike on several things and all that. I don't like the way the dude conducts himself. I'd told him before, back when, we're not buddies or nothing, but I said, man, if you ever want to spar, online, let's go at it. He don't want none of that. I got really mad at me, told me that I'd made him liable for a bunch of stuff by mentioning the fact that he's been thrown out of so many things. I've had conservative Christian people talk to me in private and tell me that he has stalked them, their word, and all that, all kinds of harassment and things going on, alleged, with him and everything, get mad about it, whatever. It's either true or it's not. But when you've got person after person after person after person, and they keep building and mounting that say it, the common denominator a lot of times is you. Now, it could be wrong, but everybody seems to have the same conclusion. I will tell you this thing about the guy. The guy can write. The guy does build a platform on a thing of like discontentment, right? I'd reached out to him and a lot of people before, a lot, everywhere, on all sides. And I'm like, hey, dude, if you can just go ahead and promote my stuff. But so many of them aren't really big enough to elevate anybody else. The only way that they elevate their own stuff is by saying everything made by everybody is garbage. So let's show them all and promote me. Yeah, you couldn't be more of an island than me, or that's the way I feel. Maybe other people don't look at it that way, because a lot of things are going good. Music, literature, all that. God bless y'all in the indie horror sphere. You've been great to me. I've got several people that are great to me, and the gospel music stuff and all that. And then comics, there's some things that are going along well. And there's a growing list of names of people that I could thank for that too. But he was going off on this Red Sonja movie that he ain't going to pay $9.99 with the thousands upon thousands of dollars that he brags that he's making. He ain't going to pay for it. Now, it's not the best movie that I've ever seen in my life, but it was what I expected it to be. And I by no means felt let down by this. Gail Simone, according to his video, has taken credit for this. I've not read that, but I'll take his word for it. I believe that. She said it was based on some of the run that she had wrote. Gail Simone has written 30 different Red Sonja comics. I know that because I Googled it today. 30 different ones. So that's several different times coming back in, doing some crossovers, Red Sonja Black and White, yada, yada. She's also written a novel about it. So she's well into comics and characters. And I have read Gail Simone stuff. There's nothing that she does that's lackluster, where it lacks in a story and shows any kind of like not competent. She has it together. I know that it would be totally a cohesive story and everything, whether he likes it or not. That would feel like quite the pat on the back to have somebody adapt something that you wrote into a movie. Lord knows that I had a director that was looking at some of my literary stuff as a movie, a director that I like in Austria. So if that happened, I would have been thrilled with that. So hats off to you, Gail. But I watched this movie and I wanted to get a non-comic book person's take on this. My wife, Victoria, this is me coercing her to do this, by the way. If you get a problem, you come after me. But yeah, Victoria, what did you think of the Red Sonja movie? Now, you knew nothing about this. Maybe you'd seen like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie with Red Sonja in that with him as Conan, but other than that, you would have known nothing about her. What was your take on this movie being introduced to Red Sonja? That this was it right here. What did you think of it?
Okay, it's like what you said. It wasn't like my number one movie of all time. No, but however, it was a pleasant movie. So, like, if I was going on a scale from 1 to 10, I would probably give it a good 7 to 7.5, actually. I mean, it was very entertaining all the way through it. And I just want to throw this out there. So, like, I heard the podcast with John Del Ross really trashing this.
I made her listen to it in the car, and I said, "You got to listen to this. This is what has pulled my chain, rattled my cage." Go ahead.
Hey, hey. One of the biggest things that got me is he called this a B movie. Okay. I have seen many a B movie. This was by far
Amen.
not a B movie. This is a first quality movie. It was very well put together. It was more entertaining than a lot of movies that are out there. So it he didn't give that a fair shake. Was very disappointed in what he had to say about it.
And the actress.
Yeah, I mean that was just so totally unfair. I just like you had said, I don't have comic book experience, but I'm just judging this based upon watching movies. I do like to watch good movies, and so I don't regret watching it. It was worth the money that we paid. I'm glad we didn't have to pay $20 for it. I think a lot of it has just got negative publicity just from hearing other people talk that wanted to put it down. Maybe because this is not a quote unquote woke movie and it didn't fit the Hollywood mainstream agenda. I'm not quite sure, but it wasn't nothing like John Delarose
Yeah.
portrayed it to be.
There was nothing preachy in it at all. It was just a good story of what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and she did a great job executing her role in that movie. And it was
Did it feel genuine to you? Did it
it
feel sincere?
it absolutely felt genuine. I don't regret watching it at all.
Okay. All right. Did you like the mullet?
Oh my
That was talked about. So the villain girl has a mullet. I'm like, this is kind of 80s, but she needs more volume. Let's talk about the mullet in it.
gosh. Not my favorite haircut. That's all I gotta say.
Mm. It can be worn better than that, though. I mean, I've seen some hotter mullets, but they got the volume, and you've got like the curls and way. You could have a good mullet with your wavy hair.
I don't know about it, but
Mhm, mhm.
not a fan of the mullet.
Did you talk about the special effects and everything in it? So they had what was a cyclops in it. They had some giant scorpions and whatnot too, but mainly the cyclops and then those dinosaur things. Well do you think the
I,
special effects looked in this alleged B
I,
movie, which wasn't? I've exposed you to those in Mystery Science Theater 3000.
yeah, like I said, I've seen enough B movies to point out and know what a B movie is. I'm just gonna say it. I've lived over a half a century in this world, and I know what a B movie is. Now, granted, the special effects weren't over the top. They weren't like super high tech special effects. But then again, they weren't anywhere close to a B movie. They were typical special effects. I thought they were well executed. They weren't over the top wow, but they certainly were not lackluster at all. At all. So again, I have no regrets watching this movie. And it John De La Rose is giving this movie a definite unfair shake. I would recommend any Red Sonja fan to watch this movie. It is definitely worth your time.
Yeah. And it's what's wrong with a lot of the culture. People want to talk about a culture war or whatever, which if that what you can say whether that's a thing or not, but it hurts you badly. It ravages your credibility when you say that something is absolute trash when it's okay or when it's pretty good. So some of his criticism was that this didn't like kill it in the box office. So here's the thing, and you know that I was going to watch this in the theater. They had it out in a sparse amount of theaters so people would have the opportunity to go to it that wanted to. It was only out for one kind of one night in this Knoxville, Tennessee area that we live in at one theater, one night. That was the Pinnacle in Turkey Creek on Thursday. That was it. I think it was just one showing too, like at 7:30, and that was it. And I even went ahead and I wrote up an article and everything about it. And you said, "Well, I'm wanting to see that too." What was it, like a Tuesday? But you're like, "It's coming out on the 29th. Why don't we just go ahead and rent it at home and we can watch it together then in the comfort of our own home?" Because we couldn't even find it. Like, would have went on a Saturday or whatever, but on this awkward day of the week when we both work and everything, that it's like, let's just throw this sucker out at 7:30. So that was some of the critique, but that was the way that it was laid out. So it's not going to crush it at the theater. It's a good thing that it made as much money as it did with them having it out such a minimalistic amount of times. In fact, it's a virtuous thing that they did that well when they put it out that sparse amount of time. So again, it circles around and it makes you look like an idiot when you say that. It's not like they were flooding theaters and they had it out for a full week all day long and all that type of thing. It was a blip and it pulled in 200 and something $1,000. So that was just kind of so you could say it was in theaters almost, and it's going to make more of its money this way around. Certainly Toxic Avenger, it's been out for several days now. It came out on Thursday and I saw it earlier this morning. um do you like it? Do you recommend it? What do you think about it?
Do I recommend it? I think it's definitely worth a watch. I don't regret it. So I don't think most people would regret it. If you go into it with a closed mind after hearing the negativity that people's been talking about, especially from those who haven't seen it, then you might set the bar higher than what you would, otherwise. But I went into it with an open mind. Like I said, I am not a well versed comic reader. I've not even read any of the Red Sonja comics, but I judge this just as a movie, just as I would any other movie, and it was worth my time. So there you have it.
All right. Well, thank you, Victoria. I really appreciate you coming on to discuss your unbiased thoughts on Red Sonja. Again, she knows nothing about this community and all that. She's proofread some of my comics, but that's part of being my wife. She's my buddy. She plays the keys and I play the drums and we sing and play together and all that. It's the beauty of being married to Benjamin Lee Blankenship, BL Blankenship for literary purposes, because I've wrote like not or nonfiction books under like Benjamin Blankenship. But yeah, all right. So thank you very much, Victoria. Everybody, that is our take on the 2025 Red Sonja. I also would range it around a 7. Um, so I agree with you fully. It's like in there. It's better than just okay. It's what I thought it would be. And I was not disappointed by it. I think that 9.99 is a good price to rent it at. It didn't feel like it's some kind of a exorbitant fee, which is ironic to hear anybody that's an indie creator that does crowdfunding saying that, because those things, they from a customer perspective, I feel like they bleed you. You get these books, and I know the prices and all that, but just hear me out. If you go and you get a floppy at a comic shop, you don't know if you're going to like it or not. It's like $5, $3, what, $4, whatever. It's like, hey man, I got this graphic novel thing that maybe you'll like it and maybe you won't, but it's like $20, and you'll probably have to pay shipping on top of that because it's not in a comic shop. Um, John actually gets you around that because he's on Amazon. So kudos there. He's making what, a couple dollars a book or whatnot. I know I'm on Amazon. I do Ingram Spark and stuff as well. But that that's harder when it's more money and you're having to take a chance on that. And a lot of that, what you get with the indie comic sphere, is that I like this create it's a popularity contest. I like this creator. They may be talented, but it's because I like them that you're shelling at that stuff. So it's a whole nother animal. This isn't a lot of money. It's 9.99. Check it out if you want to. It's on Amazon and probably several other things, Apple TV or whatever. But yeah, I thought it was exciting to hear that it was influenced by Gail Simone, which she's been such a sweet person to me. I met Gail Simone a while back, and I'm almost like a Gail Simone flag bearer in a way, just because I tell people how nice she's treated me. And people want to paint all these narratives about people that others haven't met, but she's a kind person and she cares about people and she doesn't like to see people treated like crap. And whether somebody's listening to this that agrees with her or disagrees with her on any point, I think the way that someone treats other people should matter hugely about them. And she's a sweetheart of a person, as she should be, as any of us should be. Um, and I really appreciate her and her candor and how kind she's been to me. And again, she's a very competent writer, and that's super cool to know that I watched a movie that was based off of some of the work that she did. Y'all can look that up and check out those books. I encourage you to do so online. It may have put a few more dollars in her pocket too, because that's what happens when they base it off of you, or so I understand it. But it's a good movie. Go ahead, check it out, and feel free after you've watched the movie to say genuinely what you think about it, instead of giving your reviews or your opinions for something that you haven't watched, that you haven't read, and that you don't know jack crap about, except that Joe Blow down the street went ahead and said whatever they said. People are like a pack of wolves sometimes, and they do that. But I'm a weirdo. I don't care what other people think. I just want to be me. I'm the guy that wore PF Flyers because I said Converse were too mainstream, and they are because rock and rollers wear them. But yeah, I do what I like, um, and I think that I married the greatest lady in the world, and all that. So, Red Sony, everybody. You want to say anything else before I cut it, Vic?
That's all.